Welcome to Werezilla's Retrospective. I'm your host, Werezilla. We're entering into a much younger demographic when it comes to today's topic, the Railway series. Yes, we're really talking about Thomas the Tank Engine, the famous British children's series about a railway on the island of Sodor, the home of a race of sentient steam engines. I'm getting deja vu. From one island nation to the other, I guess. In any case, Thomas the Tank Engine is something virtually everyone watched during their childhood. It had a wide array of characters and stories to tell, many of which were accurate to real-life railways. And the reason I say that in the past tense is, well, things have changed over the years. The new writing staff had very little knowledge of how steam engines and the railway system in general work, which has negatively affected stories, making one question how the heck the Sodor Railway is still running, since apparently every engine seems to be able to change their agendas on a whim with little to no negative effects or consequences. Also, despite the large amount of new and old characters, more and more focus was given to Thomas, which may not seem like a problem since his name is in the title, but the series has always been an ensemble show, just as the original writer, Reverend W. Ari, intended. So much focus that it actually made Thomas look like the focal point of the entire Sodor Railway, reaching its lowest point in one of the feature-length specials, Misty Island Rescue, which had the entire railway grind to a halt to find him when he went missing, resulting in a fairly groan-inducing story. However, once the credits were over, this happened.
You'll be laughing on the other side of your boilers soon, silly steamies.
Yes, Diesel 10, the main villain of the movie, was promised to return, and ultimately did in the following special, Day of the Diesels. And admittedly, this is a premise that even the periphery demographic can get behind, for this is a confrontation that's been a long time coming. After a fairly generic opening theme, we see Thomas and Percy trying to put out a fire.
The fire must not spread. Sodor must not be in danger.
Yeah, given that it's only a single building, I doubt the entire island is in danger. Okay, I'm going a little hard on what's supposed to be for kids still in the single-digit age range. I'll try to be a little fairer. Fortunately, help arrives in the form of Belle, a new engine with a built-in fire extinguishers. She puts out the fire, but this drains all the water from her boiler. Kind of a design flaw there. Anyway, Thomas spends the next few days making Belle feel comfortable and making Percy really, really jealous. The original Diesel approaches Percy during this time, trying to make him feel all alone, and being really suggestive in the process.
I'm busy.
Thomas is busier with Belle.
I can't believe I'm actually having these thoughts in Thomas the Tank Engine. I feel so wrong. Anyway, Diesel convinces Percy that he has a friend at the Diesel Works that wants to meet him and be their special guest. Why don't you just tell him you got candy and a puppy in your big windowless van? So Percy, being one of the most naive people you will ever meet in any work of fiction, goes to the Diesel Works and meets with Diesel 10. Percy is understandably scared since Diesel 10... how did Thomas describe him in the movie again?
10 out of 10 for devious deeds and brutal strength. The blast from the past who hates steam engines.
That's right, the genocidal maniac who wanted to destroy every steam engine in the world. Not Sodor, mind you, the whole world. He sounds trustworthy.
Why don't you hop in?
Jeez, now Diesel 10 is acting like a child abductor, too. Also, why is Diesel 10 the only one with a British accent in what's supposed to be a British TV show? And yeah, I'm watching the American release, but that only makes me question this fact more. So Percy goes into the Diesel Works and mingles with the other Diesels, all while Diesel 10 lies through his teeth as he pretends to be friendly to Percy. Diesel 10 convinces Percy to talk to Thomas about asking Sir Topham Hatt to give the Diesels a new diesel works. But Percy completely botches this when he sees Thomas being friends with yet another new engine, Flynn. He convinces the work crane Kevin to come to the diesel works to repair the place, and then Diesel 10 asks Percy to bring Thomas to the diesel works.
It's a trap!
The next day, Percy tells the other engines about the poor state the diesel works is in, and the others are simply shocked that Percy would associate himself with an obvious villain. As if that wasn't enough, he basically barters to give Kevin back if Thomas goes to the diesel works. And I thought he was in over his head before. Well, at least Percy can't get himself any deeper than this.
We are going to do something very special. We are going to take over the steamworks. And you will lead us. When we have the steamworks, Sir Topham Hatt will listen to us. And you will be our hero.
Oh my. Thomas even does show up, and Diesel 10 has his minions haul Thomas away to the back shed. There's no way Percy will listen to Diesel 10 after that.
Are you ready to be a hero, Percy?
Percy smiled. Suddenly, he felt grander than Gordon, more special than Spencer.
Yes, I am.
Actually, that's more fitting than I expected, since it's only when the Diesels actually take control of the steamworks. Where are the crewmen that's supposed to maintain it, exactly? Does Percy finally realize this was a bad idea? Percy runs off to rescue Thomas, only to find the diesel works on fire, so he gets Belle and Flynn to put it out while he rescues Thomas and Kevin. Then the narrator makes an unintentional phallic reference.
They faced the fire. Flynn had his new hose. It was long. It was strong. Water flowed fast.
At least I'm pretty sure that was unintentional. Neither Alec Baldwin or George Carlin is narrating, so that's probably the case. Yep. George Carlin was a narrator for this show once. Oh god, please don't show the engine saying...
Shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, tits, fart, turd, and twat.
I said don't show that! It's your own fault for mentioning George Carlin, boss. So the steam engines confront Diesel 10, and even after everything that's happened, Thomas still promises to ask Sir Topham Hatt to fix the diesel works. Did the others have a say in this? Because I'm pretty sure they just want the steamworks back and Diesel 10 as far away from Sodor as possible. Sir Topham Hatt shows up, and Diesel 10 then knocks him off his platform, telling him to piss off.
You, Diesel 10, are an engine on my railway. You will do as I say, when I say it. Do you understand?
Diesel 10 whimpered.
Bull fucking shit!
Is Sir Topham Hatt really suggesting he lets Diesel 10 work on the Sodor Railway? Who would be stupid enough to let a character that wants to violently murder every steam engine in the world work on Sodor? Oh, but I'm not letting Diesel 10 off the hook either. He almost threw Mr. Conductor off a bridge in the movie. He would not take orders from anyone. And what is the result of all this? Sir Topham Hatt commissions the rebuilding of the diesel works anyway, and all is peaceful between the steam engines and diesels. So in other words, Diesel 10 hijacks the steamworks, disrupts Sodor's work schedule, and his punishment is to give him exactly what he wanted. I didn't exactly keep my promise about going fair on this thing, did I? Like I said in the beginning, this show has changed over the years. Older characters like Percy have suffered from flanderization, while some newer ones like Belle and Flynn are actually devoid of characterization. Other aspects, like the animosity between steam engines and diesels, have softened immensely. Heck, Diesel 10's motive of taking over the steamworks seems like a step backwards from his previous genocidal tendencies. Not that his manipulation was bad, it's what ultimately came of it is what I have a problem with. Now before I get yelled at for picking at a work that's meant for younger kids, allow me to point out something. I like consistency among my characters, and even then, gradual change and character development is good. These changes were not gradual. Like the production changes, which, as you may have noticed, they have switched from the models of the engines to CGI. individual voices for the characters rather than the narrator doing every voice, and the human characters and the faces of the engines actually move. I actually approve of the voices since this gives for better voice acting than having just Baldwin or Carlin or Ringo Starr, seriously, doing the voice for everyone, resulting in some of the dialogue being hilariously worse than if it had been otherwise, if, say, a female character was actually voiced by a female. As for the CGI, if I had to guess, that was probably a cost-saving measure, and frankly I'm indifferent about it. The faces, on the other hand, while that's probably a hand-in-hand with the CGI, it is really creepy. And to think Doug complained about this. The more suggestive things that Diesel and Diesel 10 say and do were already making me feel uncomfortable. I didn't need the moving faces to make me feel worse. Now I realize I sound like a pissed off whiner who can't accept change, so let me reiterate. Diesel's plan was a decent one, and I liked what they ended up doing with him manipulating the increasingly naive Percy. I just wish the outcome was more climactic. Mainly, having a climax at all. Anyway, I gotta get moving before I miss my train. I'll see you all next time.
You may have spared yourself from my wrath, little one, but not his. Yes.